Hi, I'm Lizzie. I've been working on outreach and comms to contact key individuals who can support the campaign to save our centres. This includes writing to MPs, region chief commissioners, celebrities, women's advocates, explorers and adventurers, and more. It's been exciting to see the positive responses from politicians, TV presenters, local councillors, and people high up in girl guiding. If you want to join in, please get in touch for a list of people you can write to, tweet or email to help build awareness of what is happening with our girl guiding centres. Thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Kirsty. I'm a guide and rainbow leader in Anglia region, and I've been handling the press side of things. So we started out by sending press releases about the closures to national press and regional press local to the centres. Lots of journalists replied to say they'd like to speak to local leaders, so we started to find leaders via the Facebook page who are willing to speak to the press and started a spreadsheet of those so they could be interviewed on radio or in newspapers. Everyone that has been contacted so far has been absolutely excellent. We've had coverage on all of the local BBC radio stations to the 4 centres in England and had coverage on BBC News website in Wales. The story's been featured in many local newspapers, and on Saturday morning a film segment about Blackland Farm was shown on BBC Politics South East. That was followed up by discussion in the studio with local MP Mims Davies, who expressed concern about the closure and indicated that she was working with MPs of the other centres to try and help to save them. There's also been some national coverage via Private Eye. It's amazing the number of journalists that we've contacted who have either been involved in guiding themselves or have experienced the centres through their children who are involved in guiding or have been there with their schools. So next steps. I'd like to get some follow-up coverage, so we'll be writing new press releases with any updates, and that will include updates on the events that we have planned in London and then the events that we have planned at the Tex a little bit later in July. It would be great at this point to hear from units a little bit further away from the centres who maybe would travel to the centres, because we need to get that local angle for local press a bit further away from the centres. So for example, if you're in Bristol and you've travelled, or if you're over on the northeast and you've travelled to Waddow, we'd like to sort of expand that a little bit further. So do get in touch with me if you have any ideas about how to expand our press reach to other areas. Thanks, and I look forward to hearing from everyone.
Hi everyone, it's Charlie here. After the first initial big Zoom meeting we had, Kirsty Patterson, Liz Wood and myself were tasked with going away, setting up a meeting and discussing the social media campaign that we want to do going forward. So we began by setting up a Facebook group, which now has about 90 members on it. And then we had a handful of smaller Zoom meetings to discuss these social media accounts we wanted to set up, also to discuss branding, so things like our logo, our campaign colours. Hopefully you've seen those floating about on Facebook recently. And we also discussed the possibility of doing some larger scale in-person events. And 2 of those I think were announced on Facebook yesterday. But now what we like to do is separate out the in-person campaigning groups to another subgroup in order to be more productive going forward. So far we have a handful of social media accounts set up. We've got the Facebook group, which is being manned by Kirsty, Liz and Claire. We've got, and I think some more admins will be added to that at some point soon. We've got Twitter, which is being run by Louise, Instagram, which is Hannah, YouTube, which is Claire, and TikTok, which is me. And in addition to this, we have a website which is being run by Catherine and an email account which is being manned by a few different people to keep it running smoothly. Maxine is overseeing all the design elements of the campaign. She's created some things on Canva and some posters and some other branded items, some of which I think are going to be out this weekend. They'll be shared this weekend. Next week we have 2 meetings already planned. We've got one on Monday for the social media creators to plan week's worth of posting, and also to discuss any other ideas that they've come up with. And we've got one on Tuesday as well for in-person campaigners, to throw around some ideas and to start the ball rolling on getting some of these in-person events up and running. If anyone else feels like they'd like to be involved either in the social media side of things or in the in-person events, please do join the Facebook subgroup and also get in contact with Kirsty, Liz or Claire. We need as much help as we can get. I know there are going to be more admins added to the various social media sites, and also just to have more helping hands for the in-person events is always a good thing. So yeah, hopefully see you soon.
Hi, I'm Liz, and I am the person with current knowledge of most of the events going on. We'd love you to join us more than anything, and we want everyone, including our youngest members, to make sure that their voices are heard. Before I get into any of the events, I would like to tell you that the event pages are your guide, literally. If anything changes, if it's added in, if there are details to be changed, everything will go into them. So if you're coming to an event, make sure you have liked and make sure you keep an eye on the event pages. Also, Google Forms are highly useful, because if there's a last minute update, we'll probably use the details you put in there to update you and let you know what has changed. So, 3 big events to talk about at the minute. Number 1 is We Are the Guiding Lights, particularly aimed at our adult volunteers, but I am more than happy and would absolutely love to see some of our older, younger members. So turn up outside HQ. If you're in doubt of which centre name it is, it's I Can Do, and bring a tea light in your uniform. Come and join us, and we're going to be a silent, static protest. We'll keep it a protest, but our protest is more like campaigning. So there is an extra to add to that, but it will come up a bit nearer the time, so keep your eye out on the event page. Next up, Fundraising. Hear our voice. I want it to be epic. Central London. Go watch Trooping of the Colour. Go watch Fly Past. Go have fun. Join us. 3 o'clock. We would like to march on HQ. We want you to have photos taken. We want you to come deliver your letters, pictures, postcards, crafts. I don't really mind. Come deliver something. If you can bring a whole stack of stuff from your division, district, county, region, go for it. I'm more than happy. We'll have photos going on. We'll have lots of fun. There'll be lots of noise. That I can absolutely promise you. So that's the 17th of June. Be there or be square. Finally, we've got one more thing coming up. That is the 2nd of July. Pencil it in your diaries. There is a lot of information to come out about it imminently. It's all part of the big thank you off the back of the big help out. Just be prepared to come to your nearest training and activity centre and have some fun. Right, that's all from me. In a nutshell, it's going to be busy. Bye.
Hi, I'm Deborah. I'm on the Friends of Foxleys committee and also the Foxleys historian attached to the Heritage Group. A group of us have been meeting frequently since the announcement threatening to close our 5 centers to work out how we can save Foxleys for future generations. Out of these meetings, we've come up with 3 key actions. Firstly, we've applied for Foxleys to be recognized as a community value, an asset of community value. You may have heard the term ACV thrown around in meetings. This means that it's harder to be sold on the open market and to a private owner. Secondly, we're looking to form a community interest company, or a CIC, which is a legal entity run by a community group that will be able to put a bid in to buy back Foxleys for the community and keep it for use of activities and camps that we all love. Thirdly, we'll likely be applying to the government's Community Ownership Fund. This one doesn't have an acronym, but it's just as important. This fund is part of the government's Leveling Up program. It supports community groups who want to take ownership of assets which are at risk of being lost to the community. It also supports assets in need of essential renovations to make them sustainable for long-term benefit of the community. Funds usually allocated are between £250,000 to £1 million per project. So we could be eligible for a very large contribution to the futures of the 5 centres. Please join our group and help promote the community buyback of the centres. If Girl Guiding can't look after them, then we say we can. After all, girls can do anything.
Hi, I'm Hannah and I'm a guide leader in Sussex East, which is in London and South East region. I'm in a subgroup looking at how girl guiding is run, how decisions are made and how members can influence choices, present and future, to make sure changes are in the interest of guides across the country. The sticking point that has annoyed a lot of people is that 11 Girl Guiding trustees made this recommendation to close all 5 activity centres in a sudden announcement without asking members what they think. Usually there's a big consultation before important decisions like this are announced. In recent meetings between the CEO, Angela Salt, and the activity centre teams, the CEO has insisted that centres will be sold, despite a consultation now being offered until the end of July. Also, the government lays out in charity law the roles and responsibilities of trustees who must act in the charity's best interest, manage the charity's resources responsibly, act with reasonable care and skill, and ensure that the charity is accountable. It is clear that these rules have not been followed in this case, and we need to call it out. Girl Guiding has a trustee meeting and an AGM coming up on the 16th and 17th of July, and we want members to have a voice there and propose realistic alternatives to selling the centres. We recognise that Girl Guiding is under some financial pressure, but selling off assets of huge community value and value to the well-being of young people as a quick fix to a financial problem is totally unacceptable. To be heard, we are contacting members of the Girl Guiding Council, which includes the Chief Guide and Regional Chief Commissioners, as well as other representatives from each region. Through them, we will have our voice heard at the AGM, and we will stop the sale of our 5 incredible activity centres, which we discovered today have been nominated for awards. If you would like to help with this, you can join the Governance, Property and Legal subgroup or write letters and emails to your Regional Chief Commissioner who can represent your voice at the Girl Guiding AGM. Any questions, please pop them in the YouTube video live chat or comments below if you are watching later. Now over to Ingrid and about the property side of the group and whether we can bring them into community ownership.
Hi, I'm Ingrid, and I'm the point of contact for the Fundraising and Finance subgroup. I'm also a guide and ranger leader in Bournemouth South. As a group, we want to work as closely as possible with the existing Friends of Centres groups, members of Girl Guiding, as well as the public and all fundraising channels. As you will know, people have already been joining Facebook groups and Friends groups, making donations and buying things from the centres shops in large numbers. However, we are going to need something a lot more substantial to raise the kind of money needed to cover the hole in some centres' budgets and to get us ready for the future. Money is needed to support renovation and modernisation of all the tags, to help keep them safe and sustainable long into the future. There's lots of activity already underway on this work stream. We need your help. If you're interested and have skills around finance and fundraising, please get in touch. Oh, and also audit. So, actions are already on the table. You will have heard that centres are setting up a CIC to enable community buyback of each tack from Girl Guiding. Working with local authorities, we will also be applying to the government's Community Ownership Fund to try and get £1 million per centre to assist in this buyback. We will also launch large crowdfunding campaigns for each centre to add to the community fund money and apply to patrons and key grants and supporters of Girl Guiding to help top this up. We have a list of people to contact to help us in our campaign and lots of great ideas to raise money and support. We're starting to get the bank account all set up. We're also starting to get the constitution for the bank account set up to ensure we have good governance. At the moment, we need to build a team of keen fundraisers and people interested in finance, audit and fundraising. If you can help us in any of these areas, please get in touch and join my group. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Lizzie.
And we're working on a challenge pack for units and individuals to help them play their part in the Save Our Centres campaign.
Each centre has its own individually coloured and styled badge, as well as a badge for the main campaign. The challenge pack includes links to the programme and ways to experience and thank the centres for all they do for us.
We hope you'll take part in our challenge and help us to support and thank all our centres.
Hi, my name's Tina from Six Buxton Methodist Brownies in Derbyshire. Glenbrook is our closest centre and we use it regularly for residentials and evening activities. So when I told my brownies about the news to sell off the centres and that the possibility of a closure, we spent some time talking about our memories and the benefits that we get from visiting Glenbrook. The girls produced posters as part of their skill builder badge and their speaking out badge.
Having been a part of Girl Guiding for 10 years, Waddle Hall has always been my second home. It has had so many opportunities for me. It is a place full of fun and adventure.
Waddle Hall has been a place in the north for girl guides to come and visit for nearly 100 years. Just because we're girls doesn't mean we can't get our hands dirty and mess about. I have made so many new friends here through the camps and days that I have been a part of. One of my fondest memories is wellies and wristbands, where I made so many new friends and got to meet one of my favourite bands. I was looking forward to next year's wellies and wristbands because I'd be old enough to volunteer. The centres offer so many adventurous activities for girls to try. I have been lucky enough to try every single one at Waddle Hall. Some of my favourites include archery, the escape rooms and grass sledging. Last summer, with Blue Peter, we filmed to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee. I have been lucky enough to be a part of a journey with Waddle. I am so sad that it is closing down because it will stop my rainbows and brownies from having the same opportunities and fun with Waddle that I did. Finally, a plea to the trustees. I love Waddle and it is a place where girls can have adventures, be empowered and take risks. Listen to the youth voice of Girl Guiding. We are your future. We do not want to lose our history and links to the girls in 1909 who demanded their own organisation when the gate crashed the Crystal Palace Scout Rally. With this news, I can no longer plan on visiting our other activity centres. It's simple, save our centres.